Dogs and cats living together. Vegetarian. Wow! Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig
it? Hey guys, welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer. Today I've got an unusual flick lined up for us. It is Jack Wood's 1970 strange flick. It's Equinox. And guys, this is an oddity to say the least. But in the end, it actually is an extremely fun and entertaining flick. So let's get right into this one. Here is Equinox. Equinox is a fantastically weird and atmospheric little gem that achieves a great deal, considering its meager budget and limited cast. Originally made in 1967, but then updated 3 years later, the film is something of an enigma. The story is told in flashback form by the sole survivor of an afternoon picnic that was anything but ordinary. The young man describes the horrific and unusual experiences of that day, filled with encounters with demonic and gargantuan creatures, bizarre possessions, ancient castles, and malevolent beings. The film may be low budget and widely accepted as amateurish, but in my opinion, this strange combination results in a highly entertaining film that captures a certain atmosphere that is sorely lacking in modern day productions. Bring on the weird, wild world of Equinox. When I say weird, I mean weird. There's tons of crazy, off-the-wall moments that kind of catch you by surprise and throw your mind for a loop. It's not exactly the filmmaker's masterful approach to the narrative that accomplishes this feat, but more of a collection of random moments that project an unexpected rash of otherworldly wonders and unforgettable moments onto the viewer. The film is as random as it comes, but what holds all the wackiness together is the overall feel of the movie. It's unusual and unusually put together, but in my opinion that's the charm of the film. Nothing is as it seems, and the real world begins to blend with the world of the great beyond in more ways than one, mixing up the proceedings and giving the audience a feeling of insecurity and doubt on the survival of the main cast of characters. Nothing supports this anticipation of morbid events more than the appearance of the robust roll call of creatures that inhabit this upside-down world contained within this barren valley. For me, the creature aspect of this film is what really shines. These unnatural abominations seemed ripped straight from Ray Harryhausen's mind, often mimicking some of his most classic works. The stop motion, for such a low-budget production, is top-notch and gets the job done as it gives off that creepy vibe of something both living and dead thrust into the real world. Aside from the creatures and the unexpected quality of the film, what drew me in most to the atmosphere and concepts of Equinox was its extremely eerie similarities to one of my most favorite of horror films, The Evil Dead. It's been said before that Sam Raimi, the director of the Evil Dead series, had not seen Equinox prior to the filming of his movies. It's also known that Tom Sullivan, the man behind the special makeup effects and overall design of the look of the films, including the ominous Book of the Dead, had said that he brought the similarities up to Raimi and tweaked a few things in order to separate the two films from each other a bit. But for me, Equinox just seems a precursor and inspiration for what the Evil Dead films would later become. Truthfully, I really don't care if Raimi and company lifted their entire Evil Dead ideology from the concepts of Equinox, because their end result is one of the most interesting and atmospherically heavy cinema worlds to come across in some time. But the similarities between the two films is just uncanny. Equinox is an original film filled with so many conceptual curiosities and otherworldly elements that it's easy to go a little lax on the judgment of the movie's incoherent nature. The creature creations and designs are unbelievably effective, especially when you consider the budget of the production and the inexperienced filmmakers behind it. I've always had a soft spot for this film, having viewed it as a child and then later recalling its fantastically envisioned world as an adult years later. The comparisons to the Evil Dead franchise also intrigued me when revisiting my first acknowledgments of this film, forcing me to appreciate it that much more and bringing about something that could have quite possibly inspired another filmmaker into creating one of his most heralded collection of films. Equinox may be a bit of an oddball and an underappreciated, not to mention peculiar film, but I believe the strangeness of the movie is its saving grace. I highly recommend this film to anyone who enjoys occult cinema and the weird subject matter that rises up from those otherworldly and mysterious origins. Keep an open mind and check this one out. Equinox is an underappreciated cult classic. And guys, that is the strange, weird world of Equinox. Just a great one. A great, strange, weird flick. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have any time on your hands, hey, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then, guys, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.